Hell Let Loose has many classes and everyone has their favorite. I'm sure you do too. In today's video let's have a chat about the squad leader role, and I'll just throw it out there. It's by far my favorite class in Hell Let Loose. There's a good chance you don't share my opinion though, and if not, why is that? What is your favorite class to play? One of the reasons I'm making this video is hopefully to inspire some other people to also try this class. At the moment, Hell Let Loose doesn't have enough good squad leaders in game, and other people's fun depends on how they play the role, so hopefully you will start playing it as well. There's actually a couple of reasons that squad leader is my favorite class. It's unlike any other game. I mean, the leadership aspect of being a squad leader really adds a complete new layer to the experience. In most games you just, running around, shooting. There's some kind of squad leader mechanic like in Battlefields for example, but in Hell Let Loose you really need to lead a squad, and it matters how you lead a squad because it directly influences the outcome of the game. And apart from leading your own separate squad, there's also a strategic aspect to it, because you're also chatting with other people, other squad leaders and even the commander in a separate chat, so you have to determine the strategy, and there's not that many games where you can actually do this. And because you're managing the squad and leading them, and the game takes about up to 2 hours in Hell Let Loose, there's actually a brotherhood created within the squad, and especially if you play a couple of games in a row and create new squads all the time, many people will stick to it and stay in your squad. And it's one of the best experiences in gaming, I think. Because, as I mentioned before, doing your job well as a squad leader directly impacts other people's experience of the game. I mean, if there's no squad leader, it's just not really interesting to play, because you're just walking around in an empty map. The distances between objectives and between players is quite large. So if you play well, you create your outposts and do everything right, other people just enjoy it a lot more. And it can be kind of frustrating if the other squad leaders and the commander are not doing their job, only your squad is doing their job. Many people get annoyed, but I always try to focus on just what this squad can do, and I don't worry too much about the big picture. Because even if you have a bad team, but you have a nice brotherhood and nice fun situation going on within the squad, most games can be really enjoyable anyway. So another reason I really like squad leader is that you have a lot of control of the actual match. You can position your troops, you can place spawn points, you can actually really influence the outcome of the game, especially if no one's defending and you volunteer to defend actually as the only squad. This can really turn a game around. And even if there's no commander, for example, leading the other squad leaders, as a squad leader you can also ask or lead even the command chat and get the game going, because you don't necessarily need a commander for that. You can use abilities, but if you can actually convince other squad leaders to make garrisons at the right locations, that goes a long way as well. Another way you have good influence on the game is that you can actually have access to command chat in the first place, because you can request stuff. Especially of course if there's a commander, but being able to request supply drops in certain locations, especially behind enemy lines or just where your support is somewhere else or dead, that are real game changers to actually influence the outcome of the match. And you can ask other squads to help you as well, of course. But there's only one thing that really annoys me when it comes to having control over the game. Sometimes there's this guy in your squad that actually backseat gaming and caring about the big picture all the time. Well, they have no control over it. It's just a random rifleman or someone else, and they just, oh man, the commander should do this, or why don't he place garrisons there? But man, you're a rifleman, you're in the squad, just focus on your small little world and don't focus on the big picture. If you want to do that, you should be a squad leader, Because as a squad leader you can have a big impact on the game. Another reason I really like to play squad leader is that playing really involved is what I find most fun in Hell Let Loose. And if I join someone else's squad, it's kind of hit or miss, and usually miss. Most squad leaders are either quiet or they do the minimum effort, only placing OPs. They don't take the lead, they don't think about the squad, they just play self-absorbed, they're just shooting and they expect the rest of the squad to come with them. But to actually create a true brotherhood and a good experience for everyone, you should actively squad lead. Just let the squad know the objective, what you're gonna do, what you expect of them, and that changes the game completely. And by the way, if you enjoy some chill Hell Let Loose content, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. This way you can stay updated when I release new videos. So there's also downsides to playing a squad leader, and one of them is that it takes quite a lot of energy if you do it seriously. Like I just mentioned, if you play really involved, it just takes a lot of energy, so it's quite hard to do after work. So usually I do that in the weekends, or I play one game after work. because it takes a lot of energy just looking at the map, talking with your squad, talking to command chat, still trying to shoot some people in between all the talking. So I understand this is not for everyone, but at the same time it's also the most rewarding class in my opinion. Another downside if you really want to make a lot of kills is that as a squad leader it's just harder than if you're another kind of squad member, you know. You're looking at the map, talking a lot, and you can focus on a lot of kills, but the rest of the squad will suffer for it. So that's kind of a big downside, I think. Also, if you stop communicating and the OP's gone, the squad will spread out, everyone will do their own thing, and it's also not as fun, so you should be at least somewhat involved. Another downside is that your ears get completely blasted by command chat, proximity chat, squad chat, and Discord if you're in there. That takes some getting used to. But at the same time, you might not hear everything. You can tell your squad that also command chat is like screaming in your ear, and usually the rest of the squad understands, but you cannot always hear everything, you know. And the last downside is sometimes there's annoying people in the squad or in command chat. But to be honest, I don't encounter that often. The players in How to Lose are quite chill. Generally, some people get really annoyed if they're caring about the big picture too much and complaining all the time. But yeah, play squad leader, man. So if you enjoy watching squad leader gameplay, there's a lot of videos on my channel actually, and I've got a specific How to Lose gameplay playlist, and I always narrate the matches so you can get a feel of what the flow of the match is like. So if you want to check out some more squad leader related gameplay, check out my channel. I also tried squad leading in other games such as Squad and Rising Storm 2 Vietnam. It's quite different. I think Rising Storm 2 Vietnam is not as involved as How to Lose is, for example, but Squad is completely the opposite. I mean, in How to Lose you have 6 people in your squad, but in the game Squad you actually have 9 people in the squad, and you can even split them into different fire teams, and it's way more complicated, but that's also because the game itself is way more complicated, and especially because the squads are so large and there's so many people inside of it. There's also a lot more pressure because you have a lot more opinions, but also if you make a mistake it's a lot more expensive than in How to Lose, so you gotta really practice, watch guides and everything before you actually do it there. Also, for some reasons people that play squad are in general just a lot more judgmental than the ones in How to Lose. I don't know why. There's also some challenges to the squad leader role, I think, in its current form, because when you reach level 10, what happens then? I mean, there's quite a grind in How to Lose, and especially for the squad leader, if you max the level, you're gonna level the other classes, and it's important that people play squad leader. There's not too many who want to do it, so yeah, you never have the chance to level the other classes, or you just don't play squad leader, you play as the other classes, then there's a big lack of squad leaders in the game. There's also no proper tutorial to actually teach people how to play as a squad leader. Luckily there's guides on YouTube, like the ones I make for example, but that's also a reason why people don't want to play squad leader. I think it's also a bit intimidating. And another quality of life thing that I talked about a couple videos ago is that there's no management of the squad while you're being alive. You can only open or lock the squad or kick people from the squad when you're dead. It's also kind of a deterrent from people playing squad leader. Anyway, these are the things I wanted to share about the squad leader role. What do you think of playing this class? Are there any roles that you find more fun? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you in the next one.